Welcome to Cambridge House Live. I'm Vanessa Collette here at the 11th Annual Silver Summit in Spokane, Washington. Joining me today is Marc Andrews, President and CEO of Consolidated Goldfields. Welcome, Marc. Great to have you here with us.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Marc, what are your main projects and what's happening with them right now?
Right now, what we're looking to do is to be very opportunistic in a very down market. I think everybody knows that the junior mining industry and the market itself is going through a bit of a slump. We feel that we have a very strong balance sheet right now, so we're trying to be opportunistic in the sense that we're looking for projects that when the market turns itself around will be positioned for a good upswing. We have a lot of projects in Nevada that we've currently done sampling, some drilling on. They're mostly exploration targets. So we're looking right now, our main goal I should say, is to find a near-term production asset so that we can take that next level jump from being a junior mining exploration company to a near-term production company.
Has there been any progress on finding that near-term production asset?
There has. As you can probably imagine, every day that passes there's another junior company that's having troubles looking to unload properties, pennies on the dollar. We've evaluated projects from South Carolina to Oregon to Nevada to Colombia to Ecuador, Peru. We have a few on the table right now that we've very actively started to pursue.
Okay.
Not going to obviously disclose exactly where they are, but
Right.
they are both near-term production projects that I think will satisfy our strategy of moving forward towards that next level.
And do you plan on staying in the same jurisdiction in the U.S.?
Nevada has been our backyard, so Nevada is our #1 choice, but right now the board and the management team feels that as long as we can find something that makes sense, that's in a safe jurisdiction, somewhere where we have people, whether they're on the board or within the management team, that have expertise in that country, let's say, then we would certainly look at that. It's definitely the project first, not necessarily the country that it's in first.
Now, what is it that you like most about Nevada?
I think most people know that it's probably the safest mining jurisdiction in the world.
Right.
Obviously, South America, there are those problems in certain countries, and we feel like Colombia is a country that's coming around in South America. Peru is certainly a country that's safe. We have a gentleman on our board that had tremendous success in Peru at his previous company. So that's another country that we're looking in very seriously. A lot of times you'll find there's a better chance for a higher ROI if you look at a country like Peru as opposed to Nevada. So we're looking in both of those areas primarily right now.
Okay.
I think the #1 goal would be to find something in Nevada, but again, we're not opposed to doing something elsewhere.
Marc, what are your exploration plans for this year?
Right now, one of the things I had told our shareholders back in February that our two main objectives, one was obviously finding a company-changing project, something that's near-term production. And the second would be that while we're doing that and going through an evaluation process, we're going to look for a high-grade deposit somewhere, something that would yield a return immediately. I promised them that we would not do anything that had a negative cash flow. So anything that we put into the ground now is going to yield some sort of gold production return. We announced that we acquired a property called Klondike Pass that's out near Winnemucca in Nevada a couple months ago, and we have actually had our geologists out there for the last few weeks, and they have been bringing gold back in. So we should be announcing somewhere in the next few weeks that we've produced some gold already out of that project.
Excellent. Marc, how is your balance sheet these days?
We're very excited, as opposed to I'm sure a lot of companies right now, with where our balance sheet stands. The company had sold a project, the Cahuilla project down in Southern California, to Terrace Resources 4 years ago, and in the deal we received 24.3 million shares of Terrace. That is essentially what's kept our balance sheet strong. We have 24 million shares of Terrace on the books. Terrace has been trading in the 60, 70, 80 cent range. One of our objectives, because we don't have to worry about diluting our shareholders and going out and raising money, is to use those shares in some way, shape, or form to leverage ourselves into one of these projects.
Well, that's great that you can then protect your shareholders and not overly dilute the shares.
Absolutely. It's been one of the mandates the shareholders asked me to do when I took on the job 2 years ago, which was we do not need to raise money. We have plenty of capital at our disposal with these Terra shares. Utilize that asset to not only just fund the company, but then more importantly, figure out a way to use it creatively to get ourselves into a near-term production asset.
Excellent. Now, have you ever thought of listing on the Venture Exchange or the Toronto Exchange?
We have. It's something that when I first came on board, the company was a pink sheet company, and one of the first things I told the board of directors when I took the position was, we need to start making the steps to take this company to the next level. That first step was to clean up the books, get our previous 5 years audited, get on the OTCQX so that we were now a fully reporting company. I believe the next step would be to look for a venture exchange listing. Obviously, we'd like to be able to kind of tap into the Canadian market. It's one of the strongest markets for metals and mining, so if we're going to really be serious about it, that's certainly something we're looking at. Probably will happen in 2014.
What's your opinion on where gold and silver is going? Do you see a near-term rebound happening?
That's the million-dollar question. I think everybody knows it's coming. I feel like everybody realizes that gold has been suppressed. You watch with the fundamentals in the economy what the government's doing with printing money. It's only a matter of time before gold makes a run. The timing of that, not sure. I've heard 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. Fall tends to be a good catch point when it comes to our industry. I would think by next fall is probably when we'll start to see it. I have a feeling, my sense is that the gold will start to make a run sometime end of spring, early summer, and then fall will be when we sort of see the rebound within our industry. And that's why I want to position our company in such a way that when fall comes, if let's say fall is when the industry picks up again, people are going out to raise money to start drilling their exploration projects. We've actually been drilling all that time, and we'll be announcing that we're not just drilling exploration or raising money to drill for exploration. We're actually in a position that we'll be announcing we'll be producing gold in the following year or two.
Now, just as we wrap up, let's talk about the cash distribution that you announced recently.
So we had, as I said, 24.3 million Terra shares on the books. The shareholders had asked me if there was some way we could give a distribution to them. We needed to do something with those Terra shares. It's a large, obviously, portion of our balance sheet. So we put together a liquidating trust. There was a nuance with being able to distribute those shares to the shareholders because it's a Canadian listed company. So the only way we were able to actually do a distribution to the shareholders was a cash distribution, whereby we put 3 million shares of the Terra shares into a liquidating trust. That trust will get liquidated over the course of 3 years, and then a distribution will be paid out to each of the shareholders. Now, December 16th of 2013, so roughly a month and a half away, is the date of record. So if a person is a shareholder of Consolidated Goldfields on December 16th, they're then eligible for that distribution for the next 3 years.
Excellent. Well, Marc, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure having you, and we look forward to following the story.
Absolutely. Thanks, Vanessa.
Thank you.